a wooden glider, a rocket plane, a jet that flew faster than sound. These aren't just machines. They're moments. 6 breakthroughs that reshaped flight forever. You might know some of them, but one changed aviation forever, and almost no one talks about it. Today, we look at 6 turning points that didn't just move aviation forward. They changed the world. From the Wright brothers to fly-by-wire cockpits, every moment brought us closer to the skies we know today. And behind each innovation, a story of trial, danger, and breakthrough.
Turning Point 1. It all began in 1903, when the Wright brothers flew the first controlled, powered airplane, just 12 seconds in the air. But that flight introduced a revolutionary control system: pitch, roll, and yaw. For the first time, humans could steer in 3 dimensions. Every modern aircraft owes its DNA to this 605-pound wooden marvel. But they didn't just stumble onto success. Before Kitty Hawk, the Wrights built over 200 wing shapes, tested them in a homemade wind tunnel, and flew dozens of gliders. Others had tried to fly, but no one had mastered control. Their breakthrough wasn't just power, it was control, and they didn't stop there. The Wrights patented their system and built increasingly advanced models. Their legacy shaped aviation engineering for decades. Without that foundation, none of the breakthroughs that followed would have been possible. And here's a little-known fact. The Wrights used bicycle parts to build their early planes. They ran a bike shop in Ohio, and their understanding of gears, chains, and balance helped them engineer the world's first powered aircraft. Turning Point 2. In 1927, Charles Lindbergh flew non-stop from New York to Paris, solo. Over 33 hours in a cramped, fuel-packed monoplane with no forward windshield. He used a periscope to see ahead, stayed awake on sandwiches and adrenaline, and flew just above the waves to dodge fog and storms. The Spirit of St. Louis was built with one goal: distance, no radio, no backup pilot, and when he touched down in Paris, he wasn't just a man, he was a legend. The world suddenly saw flight as a possibility for everyone. Commercial airlines exploded soon after. His achievement sparked the Lindbergh boom, a massive surge in public interest and private investment in aviation. Enrollment in flight schools spiked. Aircraft manufacturers flourished, and for the first time, the skies felt like a shared future. Lindbergh's flight also influenced international aviation policy. Airports expanded, navigation improved. He proved that crossing oceans was not only possible, but inevitable. Turning Point 3. 1947. The sound barrier broken. Chuck Yeager piloted the Bell X-1 past Mach 1 in a rocket-powered plane shaped like a .50 caliber bullet. Pilots once thought you'd disintegrate at those speeds. Compressibility effects, violent buffeting, it was unknown territory. The Bell X-1 had to be dropped from a B-29 bomber, then ignited midair. Yeager was flying with broken ribs from a horseback injury. He didn't even tell the medics. But he made history. That flight didn't just break a barrier, it launched the jet age. It also ushered in a new mindset: test, push, break, learn. The X-plane program that followed led to aircraft like the X-15 and even the space shuttle. Supersonic flight went from myth to military reality in less than a decade. And Yeager's calm under pressure became legendary in aviation culture, setting the tone for test pilots everywhere. Turning Point 4. 1969 changed everything, twice. First, the Boeing 747 took flight, the world's first wide-body jet. It could carry more than 400 passengers across oceans, making long-haul travel affordable for millions. For the first time, flying wasn't just for the elite, it was for families, students, and everyday explorers. The 747's upper deck and iconic hump became symbols of a new era. Airports expanded. Ticket prices dropped. It was the plane that shrank the world. Then came the Concorde. Sleek, fast, and revolutionary. London to New York in under 3.5 hours. But it was expensive, loud, and burned fuel like a rocket. Still, It proved what was possible. While the 747 democratized the sky, Concorde symbolized the future. 2 visions, 1 year. In the decades that followed, supersonic travel stalled, but the dream never died. Today, new startups are trying again. Boom, Hermeus. The story isn't over. And the 747? After decades of service, it's still flying. Cargo, charter, even government use. The Queen of the Skies earned her crown. Tragedy can also be a turning point. Turning point 5. In 1956, 2 commercial airliners, United 718 and TWA-2, collided midair over the Grand Canyon. 128 people lost their lives. It was the deadliest crash the world had seen. Back then, airspace was largely uncontrolled. Pilots relied on sight and radio reports. The public was outraged. Congress acted. Within 2 years, the FAA was born. A nationwide radar system followed, and later the NTSB. This single accident reshaped air traffic control and made flying safer for all of us. Today, commercial aviation is among the safest ways to travel, and it all traces back to that moment over the canyon. The crash also marked the first time black boxes were seriously considered. Data, not just voice, became the key to understanding accidents. Then came digital control. Turning point 6. In 1987, the Airbus A320 became the first commercial jet with full fly-by-wire. Instead of direct mechanical linkages, pilots gave commands to a computer. That system adjusted the control surfaces, filtered errors, and ensured smoother, safer flight. It also introduced side-stick controls and flight envelope protection, meaning pilots couldn't push the aircraft beyond its limits. The A320's success influenced everything that followed. Today, fly-by-wire is standard. Even fighter jets, business jets, and some private aircraft use it. But more importantly, it marked a shift toward aviation software, where safety is built into code, not just cables. And it opened the door to more automation, fuel optimization, and predictive maintenance, technologies that are shaping the future of flight.
6 moments, 1 legacy. The history of aviation isn't just about machines. It's about people, engineers, pilots, and pioneers who risked everything to take us further. Which of these breakthroughs do you think mattered most? Or did we miss one you love? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more stories from the skies, hit subscribe. From jet tech to cockpit secrets, we're just getting started.